So let's start using the U-Farm app. So once we've signed up, like you've seen in the introduction and sign up video, you need to log in to U-Farm. So you do that by clicking the login button. You then enter a email address that you signed up with as such, and then you enter the password that you used to sign up with. Once you've entered your password, you click the login button, and this will take you through to the startup screen for the broiler farmer. Now, you'll see that on the right top, there's an account. There's My Houses, and it says No Houses Yet in the center of the screen, and then Add a New House on the bottom right. Now, on the left-hand side, where the three little stripes are, that is a drop-down menu. So we're first going to start to look at the drop-down menu. It's just so that we can familiarize ourselves with the app. So if I click on the drop-down menu, it gives you a menu. The first thing is notifications for the farmer. Any new notifications for the farmer will be inside there. The next point is CO2, NH3, temperature and humidity monitoring module. That is an external link to a monitoring module. This is only applicable if you have bought an additional monitoring module with on the app. This is where you would connect to that monitoring module. The third point is marketplace, to buy and sell. So this takes you, it's also an external link that takes you through to the U-Farm marketplace. This is where we will be selling food and other necessities for broiler farming. We are currently looking at getting discounted prices. They're not currently available. Normal pricing is available through the store, but we are busy talking to a few feed suppliers to give us discounted rates. So please look in on that marketplace quite often. Then the fourth point, we have disease identification. There it shows an external link to poultry diseases and then also 11 most common diseases. The fifth point has training videos. There is basically a chicken skull that is in 3D that you can zoom into and zoom out of, and also a chick also in 3D. Then the sixth point, you've got Broiler News Farmer, which is an external link directly to Farmers Weekly, and then below that, Food for Mzansi, also an external link. Then we have farming tips for the farmer, which will take you through to a page that shows some farmer tips. We have the biosecurity plan for the farmer, which shows at this stage, because we haven't done anything, it's 0% completed. How to use the app farmer. That is a how-to, basically showing you how to use the app if you're not following these videos. Then you have WhatsApp. Now, that WhatsApp is a direct WhatsApp link. If you click on that and you have WhatsApp installed on your phone, it will immediately open a message which will come through to the developer myself. So if you have any suggestions on what you would like added to the app, or if there is anything that you need information on or that you're unsure of, you can send me a message on that WhatsApp. And then, of course, the email address below that, petersaunders@live.com. You can just copy that email address and then send it through on an email if you have a larger query than what WhatsApp is, or WhatsApp allows you to type, or if you don't have WhatsApp on your phone. So if we click anywhere outside the menu, we go back to the main screen. So on this main screen, the first thing we need to do is we need to add a new house. So we click the Add New House button. Once we do that, we need to enter a house name. You can use any house name. So if you have a broiler house naming convention, you can use that naming convention. I'm just going to call mine Broiler House 1. So below that, you've got the date. You can either use today's date or enter your own date in the past. So if you use today's date, it will automatically use the current date on your phone. I am going to backdate this because I want to show you guys some information or show some information afterwards. So I'm going to backdate this to the 7th of June. And then I need to, well, the block below that, time broilers were placed in the house. I'm going to say that they were placed in the house at 8 o'clock in the morning. Click on OK. Now you put in your house perimeters. So the length of your house, I'm going to say that my house is 20 meters long and 10 meters wide. So you see, as you drag, you can see above the little dragging icon how many meters, and it also updates on the left. Next, it shows enter the number of broilers. We recommend 3,000. That means that for the square meterage of your house, you can put up to 3,000 chicks in. You can enter any number less than that 3,000 up to 3,000. Now, for ease of calculations, or to prove that the calculations are correct, I'm just going to make it 1,000 because it makes it a lot easier. So the price paid per broiler, this is the price that you pay from your broiler supplier. I'm going to put in 10 Rand, again, just for argument's sake, because round numbers work easier. Your broiler's age, usually your broilers will come through to you at 1 day old, but you can get them up to 10 days old. I'm going to do it as 1 day because I want it to populate the list from day one. Now, per broiler, you're going to need food. And of course, it takes about 5 kilograms of food to get a broiler from 1 day old until 42 days old. So I'm going to put in that for these 1,000 broilers, I have bought only 250 kilograms of food. Right? How much did I pay for the food? Now, a 50 kilogram bag, current pricing is around 400 Rands a bag. So 5 bags of 400 Rand equals 2,000 Rand. Just using round numbers here. Mortalities, if any of the chicks arrive dead. Now, usually what the guys do is if you buy 100 chicks, you get 108. So that accounts for the few mortalities you might have on day one. You can enter mortalities here, but I'm going to say that there's no mortalities. What is the average weight of the broilers on arrival? Now, this is an important factor, and I would say weigh at least 1 in every 5 chicks to get an average weight. Average weight of your broiler chicks can be anything from around 32 grams to 42 grams. You might get heavier, you might get lighter. I'm going to put in 42 grams, which says that my chicks are very nice and robust. Now, where are the broilers from? You can enter here which company supplied you with the broilers. I'm going to say, make a company called Broiler for You. Don't know if something like that exists, but just for argument's sake, call it Broilers for You. Now, do you disinfect and clean between cycles? So, do you clean your house after you're done with one cycle to go to the next? I'm going to say not yet. All right. If I say not yet, it allows me immediately to put in the house temperature. If I say no, it allows me to put in the house temperature. If you do say yes, now I'm going to say yes so that you can see what happens. If you do say yes, it opens up an additional menu. It says, do you dry clean the house? Do you remove all the organic materials such as litter? You can then choose there yes, no, or not yet. I'm going to say not yet. Do you remove all the drinkers and feeders? Well, that's logical. Yes, I do. Actually, you would definitely remove the organic material such as litter as well. You wouldn't put new chicks on dirty litter. So let's change the top one to yes. Do you clean the whole house and equipment with broom and dust cloths? Yes. Do you do a white or foam wash? So this means, do you wash and clean all the equipment and the whole house with a soap, any soap? This can be normal soap or a disinfecting soap. You must, though, let it dry naturally. Yes, I do. Do you disinfect? Now, disinfecting means spraying all your equipment and the house with a reliable and quality disinfectant. So you try to use a non-corrosive, biodegradable, and non-toxic disinfectant such as F10 or RT14 to protect your equipment and infrastructure. Once all have been disinfected, let it dry naturally inside the house. Let's say, yes, I do that. There's nothing else, so we click the back button. House temperature. This is very important. Put a thermometer inside the house about an hour before you put your chicks in and get an average temperature of your house, somewhere in the center. So a good temperature for your house is anywhere between 28.5 and 31.5 degrees Celsius. So I'm going to say that it's 30 degrees Celsius inside my house. And then you can add any notes that you want here, like cloudy day or raining, or you can, any notes, whatever notes you want to put in there, you can put in there. So once you've done that, you then click on save at the top, and automatically your house is created. You will see that at the top it says Broiler House 1. Your house is created and the date that the house started, how many broilers you have remaining, the total expenses, which is, of course, your broiler and your feed pricing. And then you can still add new houses. So you can add as many houses as you have. If you have 5 houses, you can add 5 houses. Now, remember we looked at the menu earlier. So the menu on the left-hand side is still available. You can still go into that menu. Now, if you click on the broiler house itself, it opens up the broiler house. Now, this is very interesting. So it tells you how to set it up. So the feeders needed, you need 33 feeders. Drinkers needed, you need 20 drinkers. The sawdust level, 10 centimeters, which means that you will need 1,000 kilograms of sawdust. The total food needed per day is 168 kilograms. Now remember, I said I bought 250 kilograms. This means that I'm going to have to buy food before tomorrow again. So water and drinker, keep it full and clean it once per day. House details, house size is 200 square meters. You need to make your brooding area 13 square meters. Broilers came in at 1 day old. They are currently, if we look at today's date, the 19th, from the 7th of June until the 19th of July is 42 days. Mortality rate in the house, none of them are dead. None of them have been sold because we haven't added any selling. And then broilers remaining is 1,000. And then any notes that you entered will be shown at the bottom in notes. So to look at your calendar or to look at your house and to know what to feed per day, you would basically click on calendar. So calendars shows you from day 1 all the way until day 42, 43, wherever you are. It shows you exactly what to do if you click the info button. So that info button brings up that you need to feed your broilers starter, you need to give probiotics, you need to give the broilers 23 hours of light, you're going to need 4 kilograms of food for the first day, and your house, the recommended house temperature is supposed to be 32 degrees Celsius. Now you can also capture info. If you click outside that, info captured, if you click on that, it opens up the capturing screen that will then allow you to capture info. Because we are on day 42, it will not allow me to capture info for day 1 because it's backdated, but I will show you in a second. Let me actually start a new broiler house. I'm just going to pause the video and show you what it would look like if you were going to capture info. So I've quickly added a second broiler house just to be able to show you guys. So if I click on that broiler house, go to calendar and go to capture, now it allows me to capture specific info. So daily info, how much feed did they eat? Let's say they ate 12 kilograms of feed. How much water did they take? They took 25 liters. How many of them died? I lost 4 of them. What was the temperature, the average temperature for today? Let's say 30.5. What vaccinations did I do? Well, they came pre-vaccinated, so I'm just going to say pre-vaccinated with Newcastles and bronchi gas used. That is if you use gas heating in your house, you can put in how many kilograms of gas you used. Or alternatively, you can also, if you use briquettes, you can say you used 5 kilograms of briquettes or whatever. Click on save. And that is the daily info. You can also show or capture any income. So if you sold any of your broilers, now this will probably be at more towards the end of your cycle, but somebody might want to buy 20 of your day-old broilers. So you can say there that you sold 20 broilers. How much did you sell them for? Well, you need to make a bit of money. If you bought them for 10 Rand, let's say you sold them for 15 Rand. So how much did you receive for them? 20 times 15 is 300. Did you sell any manure? Maybe you're selling some of the old manure. I sold 50 kilograms. How much did I receive for it? Well, I sold it for 10 rands a kilo, so 500. Any other income that you made out of them? There isn't really. Click on save. It will save it. You can also load expenses. So if you bought food for that day, you can add the kilograms of food, the price you paid for the food, gas, the number of kilograms and the price of the gas, shavings, labor. Let's say you had a day laborer to help you to put the day-old chicks in, and he cost you 250 Rand. Vaccinations were free, disinfectant you can put in here, if there was an electricity cost, a water cost, medication cost, telephone cost, salaries, transport, any other expenses, and then the amount. You can also save that. So all of that data has now been captured into the house. And if you go into my money, It will show you money out versus money in. So if you go out completely and you go into your 2 houses, it will now show you the remaining broilers in your house, how many broilers died, the total expenses, and what money you have made back into your house. So that is the basic working of the app. There will be a next video which shows the specific menu items. I'll be running through the menu items one by one and showing what those menu items do. Just as a special note, on the account tab on the far right, you can update your information, which will automatically pull your current information from your cell phone, or you can log out. If you do not log out and you basically just go out of your app, if you open your app again, you will not need to log in. It will automatically bring up your houses as they are. So that is a basic of how to use the U-Farm Broiler app in farmer mode, and I will be going through the menu in the next video.